Hey YouTubers, Electric Adventures here with my January 2013 update. Got a couple of things to go over this month. I received, don't normally do pickups in these, but this is items I'll be working on. So I have this small parcel here, which contains a very well put together mod. So the components are probably going to be a little small to pick up on the camera properly. Even comes with connectors, so it's looking like an AV mod kit there, and it's for the Colecovision. So I have my spare Coleco, which I've gotten working. It has the RF section of it, has a short, so it works with the case off. When you put it back on again, you still get a signal on the TV, but it's very, very bad. So but I can get a really perfect signal with the top off, so I could probably track that down eventually, but I thought, oh, I might as well try and do an AV mod. So I downloaded the circuit diagrams and everything like that, and I think through my general searching for that again, because I couldn't find the last one I downloaded, I found another one, and lo and behold, he'd only just posted links to an eBay site where he had a full conversion kit. And he's got them, the same kit will work on both a PAL and NTSC one, and he's got different instructions, and it looks quite simple to follow, even for a person like me, so I'm going to give it a go, and I'll be making a video of that as I go, so try and capture as much detail as possible, and we'll see how we go. And once I've got that Coleco AV modded and it works out, I'll switch over, use that one from my primary, and I'll do the same thing to my other one, and probably always keep a spare for a Coleco because I like the Coleco so much. Also my cousin, who's more a collector of models, but he likes his games and things like that, but he's also into fixing up PCs, actually bought some spare parts for PCs fixing up, and had some extra bits that he thought he might like, because I've been trying to sell this retro computer, so just down here, so I can do gameplays of some of the older DOS software I've got, and capture via the S-Video port. Now I've got something like X-Wing here working on it, but the capture I can only get black and white. Now I did get a new ATI AGP card, but one of the things he's dropped me off is an NVIDIA card, and it's got an S-Video out as well. I don't need anything too over the top either. He also we have this one as well. This one is it's on here somewhere. It's an MX440, and that one was an FX 5500. Obviously, that's a lot better card. But both of those have S-Video out, so they're both worth a try. Now, when we're running Windows XP, and I do know there are some issues with getting colour out, and even he had a look when he was around here last as well. And the ATI driver has it stuck on 60 Hz, so we think that might be the problem, and it's not letting us change it. He also dropped off a Sound Blaster Live card, so I'll be able to put that in and get quite decent sound out of that. So it does have onboard, but that is a lot better chipset than a lot of the onboard ones, and plus has a greater level of compatibility. And last but not least, also in this pile of stuff he got was a IDE interface compact flash card. Now it was out of a PC on an expansion board, so first I thought, oh, you've got one for the Amiga. This possibly might work with the Amiga. I'll have to look into it. You could supply power to it there, and it looks quite good, and obviously it's got a card that works happily with it, which is the most important thing. So I may be able to, I'll find out what's on that and work it out from there, but I may end up using it for the Amiga. I thought for this particular episode I'd answer somebody's post, because it was quite an interesting topic. It's another one from Lawnboy's Post 1975, because he does ask really good questions. If you're not a subscriber, link down below. So he asked the question this month about a week ago, high school gaming memories. It was quite a good question. I did put a bit of comment text on his video, but my most predominant memory from that period is cycling around to my friend's place a fair distance away after school and on weekends to play on his Atari 2600. And that's that Atari 2600 in the bottom of the stack up on top of the shelf there, which he gave to me with all of his games, which pretty much got my Atari 2600 collection starting quite a few years ago. And we go around there and we play Kaboom, and Asteroids was another one where we had high score challenges on, and a bit of Space Invaders to start with. I remember when he first got his system, that was one of the games he got, but Kaboom was one of the ones we played a lot, so much so that the paddle controllers that he also gave me have the shakiness that we experienced as they wore out, so that's one of my other little round things I've got to get around to one day, is rebuilding that. Adventure, trying to complete Adventure in the smallest amount of time possible. And I remember when he got Pitfall, he was so excited about getting Pitfall, and we both tried to play that and finish that through. I believe he did actually finish that game before any of those maps and guides came out too, so he's quite a good guy. I've known him for a long time, since the start of school. So that's probably one of my strongest video game memories from when I was a kid. Also this month, I was given the opportunity to take over YouTuber of the Month, which is a really good series supporting the YouTube community, and each month the previous winner nominates 5 people to for everybody to vote on to be the YouTuber of the Month the next month. So I knocked up a quick video for January, and the voting's in progress. So if you haven't voted, make sure you, I'll put a link down below for that as well. Might even try annotations this time. I'll probably in about a week's time I'll close that, just so we can get it back further into the month that it's supposed to belong to, because obviously that came out right at the end of January. And if you haven't voted, just vote. All you have to do is leave a single comment with the person you pick at the bottom of the video. The more people we can get to vote, the better and fairer the competition will be. And at the end of the year, I'll pass it over to the YouTuber of the year, or first or second, as is the case that happened this year. Now, I'd actually like to ask a question this time. So it's the beginning of the year, an interesting year forward, and I want to know what game release or even hardware release you're looking forward to this year. And I'm actually going to pick a hardware release as my thing. I'm going to pick the Ouya. I think that's going to be a very interesting addition to the gaming world, and I'm most excited to going to get one of those units when they start shipping, which isn't that far away now. And it will be interesting to experience Android-based games, but with proper controllers and on a big TV, for a unit designed to do that. So, and looking at more of the pictures and things like that, it is a tiny little beast, and very interesting. So I'll be doing a thorough review of that when that comes through as well. Now on to another part of the things I do, which is I develop software for several of the retro computer systems, and I did back in the day, back in the mid 80s, and I'm re-releasing some of those for the first system I'm re-releasing them for conversions for the Colecovision, and the first title is progressing very well. The first cartridge will be have 3 games on it. 3 of my very early titles, Meteor Swarm, Birds of Orion and Munchmania. You won't need many guesses to say where the inspirations for those 3 games are. The original games were only very small. They're all written in 100% machine code, but the originals, and they were written for the Spectre video machine and converted to the MSX, and they were developed in a tape environment, so not a lot of sound and music made it into them, so I'm trying to improve that part of them, plus add for a couple of them some difficulty levels and things like that. The Meteor Swarm I've actually sent off to a couple of beta testers who are helping me out, one in PAL and one in NTSC, to try out on real machines, and they've been very helpful with their feedback. So that one Meteor Swarm is almost ready at what I call release grade now. Birds of Orion I haven't sent out for beta testing. It's probably the simplest of the 3 games. and I've just thought, well, I know I'm putting 3 games on one cartridge, but I still want the game to be a little better. So I'm just going to add a couple of levels to that one, and just change the flow of the game a little bit. It's sort of like it's too hard. It starts out way too hard and punishing. And the last game, Munch Mania, the conversion of that went very swiftly. Gameplay works fine. It already had a level system in it. It had the sound from MSX and Spectre Video you can't use on the Coleco. You've got to make new sound anyway. And it wasn't the best. It was probably my first game where I, tried to have a bit of a go at the sound. And actually last night I managed to get music working on a Coleco. Now I'm not promising it's going to be fantastic music, but it is going to have music in it. So, and hopefully that'll improve for my next releases as well. Now, so all 3 of those games will be on one cartridge, and you'll select it from an opening menu. I have some graphics for the opening menu. I just haven't. The way my mind thinks, it's a small amount of code. It won't take me long. It's probably more the merging of the 3 games. I'm testing them independently to make sure it's easy to get the bugs out. But then I do need to merge them onto the one cartridge, so it'll be more more about labels clashing and things like that. But I'm pretty good at changing a large amount of code in a small amount of time. So hopefully that'll go smoothly, and later this month I will have an actual beta cartridge. I'm still not 100% sure of the publishing mechanism for the Coleco release. All the releases on the other systems will be published by myself though. I have managed to track down a place in Australia where I can get cartridge cases for the MSX manufactured, and I'm working with them now. I also will be publishing the games for the Sega SG-1000 and SC-3000 computers. Now that cartridge happens to be exactly the same shape as a Coleco cartridge. Now it does not exist a mould, but I'm thinking through the same people I might be able to get cartridge cases made using a Coleco cartridge as a base. You've just got to change slightly where the circuit board goes, but I'm going to look into that more. And also I'll be making a very limited number of each title for the original Spectre Video computers, and I believe I found a case solution. The cartridge slot in a Spectre Video 318 or 328 is exactly the same size as an Atari 8-bit cartridge. So it may actually be able to use Atari 8-bit cartridge cases, which there are a couple of people who make add-ons cartridges for those, like the Atari Max cartridge that I got recently. So I might be able to get those with a little bit of manual tooling to fit the circuit board in, but I mean I'll probably get the circuit board made so it fits in the case, if you know what I mean, bar the slot part at the bottom. So that's looking very positive. But I still have to organise things like boxes and everything like that. So the Coleco releases more than likely still will come out through one of the existing 2 publishers that publish homebrew for them. So watch this space. That's probably enough of me babbling this month. I'll have, obviously, the next thing I'll be working on will be the AV conversion for the Coleco. I have some gameplays of some other games that are in my collection that I've never done gameplays of that I want to do, and obviously the YouTuber of the month will be coming up in about a week. Alright, thanks for listening to me babble on for a while. Thank you to all my subscribers, most welcome, and keep supporting YouTuber of the month, and I'll catch you all later.